Today we're going to talk about future active participles. So let's first discuss what a future active participle is. First of all, participles in general are forms of a verb. This means they come from the verb, but they're used as something different. And here, future active participles are verbal adjectives. And we'll see, coming up in the PowerPoint, that it's often used with a conjugated form of the verb esse to form a alternative use of the future in a way. Let's talk about forming the future active participle first, though. We're going to go to that fourth principal part, amatus. We're going to drop off our us, and we're going to add urus. So amaturus is the simplest form of our future active participle. But of course, as a participle, it changes for gender. So it's really going to be amaturus, amatura, amaturum, about to love. And we see it ends in that familiar us, a, ending. So this will use endings that we know very well. The masculine amaturus is going to use second declension masculine endings. The feminine amatura is going to use first declension endings. And the neuter amaturum is going to use second declension neuter endings. All endings that we should know very well by now. Now, let's talk about using and translating it. It is an adjective, so it must agree with the noun it modifies in three ways: case, number, and gender. And, as we said before, it's translated as about to be verbed. And we said briefly that it's often used with the form of the verb esse, so here we see that in context. Puer forum visitaturis erat. Firstly, notice that visitaturis is modifying puer, and it agrees in the same case, number, and gender. Puer is nominative, singular, and it's masculine, just like visitaturis. And this translates as the boy was about to visit the forum. So here we have that form of the verb esse, erat, plus the future active participle, creating a sense of the future. Here are two more examples. The first is just like we saw in the previous example. Here, petitori modifies milites. Remember, they're in the same case, number, and gender. Nominative, plural, masculine. And it's again being used with the verb to be. Here, sunt. The soldiers are about to attack the barbarians. Now, our second sentence is a little different. Here, we don't have a form of the verb to be, and that's okay. We see that discesura is our future active participle, modifying puella. It's in the same case, number, and gender. Nominative, singular, feminine. So the girl about to leave home was wearing a beautiful dress. Here we see a participle in a more classical sense, as we've seen present active participles and perfect participles. But for the future active participle, note, like our first example, that it can often be used with the verb to be.